In this video, we will explain about Amaterasu, the goddess, origins and mythological background of Amaterasu. Amaterasu is the most important god in Japanese mythology and a goddess who has been very much cherished in mythology. She is the daughter of Izanagi and Izanami, the two creator gods of Japan, and symbolizes the sun itself, born of them. For example, it is said that when Izanagi purified himself, Amaterasu was born from his left eye. This indicates that the sun signifies purity and new beginnings. The birth of Amaterasu is a symbol of creation and rebirth in Japanese mythology, and she is revered as its central goddess. Amaterasu is the most revered and dominant of the Japanese gods. Through her role as the sun, she governs life and prosperity and influences other gods and mortals. Amaterasu's power influences the changing seasons and the growth of crops in Japanese agriculture. Her presence also determines the flow of time and the rhythm of activity in the daily lives of people. Amaterasu plays a central role in Japanese mythology as the source of life and the symbol of prosperity. As the sun goddess, Amaterasu symbolizes light and heat, the source of life. The sun is essential to all living things, and Amaterasu is worshipped as the giver of its bounty. The appearance of the sun marks the beginning of a new day, and it is believed that the length of the day and the changing seasons are determined by Amaterasu's power. Through the sun she symbolizes, Amaterasu occupies a central position in Japanese mythology as the source of life and prosperity. The sibling relationship between Amaterasu and Susanoo. Amaterasu and Susanoo have a powerful and complex brother-sister relationship in mythology. They are both powerful gods, and there is a deep sense of emotion and competition toward each other. For example, the story of Susanoo ruining Amaterasu's fabric symbolizes the tension and rivalry between them. The relationship between Amaterasu and Susanoo illustrates a complex brother-sister relationship that is a mixture of love and competition, understanding and misunderstanding. There was a serious clash between Amaterasu and Susanoo, but they eventually reached a reconciliation. This clash illustrates the importance of balance of power and order. In the world of the gods, the legend of Amano-Iwato, the story of Amaterasu's hiding in Iwato and reappearing through Susanoo's actions, symbolizes their clash and reconciliation. The clash and reconciliation between Amaterasu and Susanoo represents an important theme in Japanese mythology, where conflict and harmony coexist. The relationship between Amaterasu and Susanoo has had a profound influence on the stories of Japanese mythology. Their story illustrates the complexity of the world of the gods and its relevance to human experience. Amaterasu's status as Amaterasu and Susanoo's wild behavior create balance and contrast in the myths. The relationship between Amaterasu and Susanoo forms an important element of power, conflict, and harmony in Japanese mythology. The legend of Amano-Iwato and Amaterasu's role. The legend of Amano-Iwato is the famous tale of Amaterasu's hiding in Iwato, which plunged the world into darkness. This legend represents the importance of Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and the symbolic significance of light and darkness. When Amaterasu hid in Iwato, the world lost its light, and the other gods tried various methods to bring her out. The legend of Amano-Iwato is a central story in Japanese mythology, symbolizing the power of Amaterasu and the importance of the sun. Amaterasu hid in Iwato in protest against the violent actions of her brother Susanoo. This action marks a process of conflict and reconciliation among the gods, emphasizing the balance between order and chaos. Susanoo's destruction of Amaterasu's textiles and injury to her maidens were the direct causes of Amaterasu's retreat to Iwato. Amaterasu's seclusion contains an important lesson about the impact of individual actions on the world at large. The legend of Amano-Iwato, as a symbol of crisis, resolution, and rebirth, is a story with profound lessons. The story teaches us the importance of conflict and harmony, darkness and light, the gods working together to bring Amaterasu out of Iwato, and the return of light to the world when she reappears is a symbol of cooperation and hope. The legend of Amano-Iwato shows that even in difficult situations, solutions can be found, and new beginnings can be made. Influence of Amaterasu on contemporary Japanese culture. The legend of Amano-Iwato is the famous story of how Amaterasu hid herself in Iwato, and the world was plunged into darkness. This legend represents the importance of Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and the symbolic significance of light and darkness. When Amaterasu hid in Iwato, the world lost its light, and the other gods tried various methods to bring her out. The legend of Amano-Iwato is a central story in Japanese mythology, symbolizing the power of Amaterasu and the importance of the sun. Amaterasu hid in Iwato in protest against the violent actions of her brother Susanoo. This action marks a process of conflict and reconciliation among the gods, emphasizing the balance between order and chaos. Susanoo's destruction of Amaterasu's textiles and injury to her maidens were the direct causes of Amaterasu's retreat to Iwato. Amaterasu's seclusion contains an important lesson about the impact of individual actions on the world at large. The legend of Amano-Iwato, as a symbol of crisis, resolution, and rebirth, is a story with profound lessons. The story teaches us the importance of conflict and harmony, darkness and light, the gods working together to bring Amaterasu out of Iwato, and the return of light to the world when she reappears is a symbol of cooperation and hope. The legend of Amano-Iwato shows that even in difficult situations, solutions can be found, and new beginnings can be made. Comparison of Amaterasu with other sun deities of the world. Amaterasu and the sun gods of the world have much in common. These deities symbolize the sun, the source of life, and are worshipped as beings that bring prosperity and fertility. For example, the ancient Egyptian sun god, Ra, also symbolizes the power of the sun and its influence on daily life and natural phenomena. Amaterasu, like other sun deities around the world, plays an important role as a symbol of the sun's energy and life. Cultural differences also exist between Amaterasu and other sun deities. These differences arise from the unique views and traditions that each culture has regarding the sun god. For example, Apollo, the sun god of Greek mythology, is also a god of music and poetry, a characteristic not found in Amaterasu. Amaterasu's uniqueness and diverse cultural background are highlighted by comparing her with other sun deities. The sun myth has both universality and specificity. The universality comes from the fact that the sun is considered the source of life and growth in all cultures, while the specificity is shaped by the unique myths and traditions of each culture. The story of Amaterasu has elements unique to Japan, but also deals with themes common to other sun myths, such as light and darkness and the battle between good and evil. The solar myths, including Amaterasu, reflect the characteristics of each culture, while having common themes throughout the world. Amaterasu and the mysterious mirror. This story describes the first time Amaterasu saw herself in a mirror. In Japanese mythology, mirrors are items of great significance, and this story depicts Amaterasu's amazement at seeing her reflection in a mirror. Amaterasu is fascinated by her own beauty, and begins to strike various poses in the mirror. When the other gods see this behavior, they begin to imitate her playing with the mirror in order to poke fun at Amaterasu's vanity. However, this event is an important moment of self-awareness for Amaterasu, as she begins to think deeply not only about her own appearance, but also about her role and responsibility as a deity. In this video, I explained about the Japanese goddess, Amaterasu. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like this video. History Spectrum.